You've often said PERA gives investors a margin of safety.
Correct.
How do tax advantages create that cushion, and especially in a volatile times like this?
Yep. Actually, you said the magic word right there, tax advantage. So imagine that typically the way you and I invest is we just deploy our risk capital. And at the moment we deploy our risk capital, we are neither ahead nor behind, right? Actually, we're behind in terms of the transaction costs, right? But in PERA, you start immediately with a margin of safety owing to the tax savings. So DragonFi, we're working with employers to onboard PERA in order to incorporate it into the compensation structure of their employees. When you do that, you actually can eliminate withholding taxes pertaining to those contributions. So I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, for the maximum amount of 200,000, right? So if you go by the BIR monthly compensation tax table, it goes from 15% to 35% depending on your monthly income, right? So at the 200,000 peso contribution, if you incorporate it in your compensation package the way you would do a de minimis,
it's going to be a deduction.
So the 200,000 you save at the 15% marginal tax bracket, you save 30,000. Then you receive an additional 5% tax credit, you save an additional 10,000. So you save between 40 to 80,000. So imagine the Filipino investor, the moment he or she deploys capital into her PERA account by way of his or her compensation, he's ahead by 20 to 40%.
Nice.
So that's the margin of safety I'm talking about. Let's say, for example, this is a good stat, right? Let's say, for example, you're talking about the US market. The median up move in a bull market is 25%. The median down move is 15%. If you already have a margin of safety wherein you are ahead 20 to 40%, that enables you to stomach the natural volatility inherent to the markets. Thereby, it helps you with your long-term goal of accumulating wealth for the long haul, for your retirement.
I see. For our viewers who aren't familiar, can you break down like how PERA would work? I know that this is aligned to the stock market, but not everyone is familiar with the overview of PERA and how is this going to be applied.
Yep. So PERA, by the way, it's not only just a stock market. So PERA, like you mentioned earlier, right? You're putting powerful tax advantage investing in the hands of everyday Filipino when you have a PERA account. So what are the salient features of PERA? First, again, if you incorporate it into your compensation package, you can actually eliminate some of the withholding taxes that you pay. Secondly, you get an additional 5% tax credit. Third, within PERA, your investment grows tax-free. There's no 10% dividend tax. So if you're a dividend investor, for example, you eliminate the 10% dividend tax. Then there's no withholding tax on interest income. So much so that the money market inside PERA nets around 6.3% per annum. Imagine when in the digital bank, when they tell you that they're giving you 5%, it's not really 5%.
Yeah, it's less
because there's a
the
20% withholding tax pertaining to that yield. So the 5% is actually just 4%. But within PERA, that's already your take home, the 6.3%. It's net. Lastly, in PERA, and this is very, very important. It's very important, and it's one of the reasons why I pursued PERA in the first place. You eliminate estate taxes. So by eliminating estate taxes, so imagine for the next, if you're a 25-year-old, for the next 40 years, you're contributing to your PERA. When you bequeath it to your son, your daughter, or your other loved ones, you do so tax-free. So it makes it easier to create generational wealth, which is something that that I've seen, like every Filipino generation starts from scratch. But in PERA, we don't have to anymore.